Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, as the title suggests, Thomas crashes out on Brooke and they settle it with a fucking hug. I can't believe those words just came out of my mouth. There's going to be a lot of, you know what, let me try that again. Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. As the title suggests, Thomas crashes out on Brooke. Let's get the roll call. Let's get this started. Tommy's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Black Ma's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Thank you, Amy. Amy H is in the chat. Let's everyone thank Amy H for her generosity. Thank you. Sean is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Sean, I got a part 2 of that video. We're not going to talk about it here because, politics and stuff, but I'm putting out my second video tonight. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Alice is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Sean, oh yeah, Sean is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Yeah, you know, Sean. Dollar Max is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Crystal is in the chat. How you doing tonight? We got a lot to talk about, people. Yeah, so you know, there's a part 2. There's a part 2 to that video too, Sean. There's a part 2. So I'm gonna put that on. Well, tonight after I'm done with the stream, and I don't even have my. Well, I don't actually have anything actually. Francis is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Yeah, Sean, I had to bring it to you know who. Now I started it now because I wanted to make sure I started on time. Jonathan is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Sue, Queen of the South is in the chat. How you doing tonight? You know, Tommy, I have a picture for you, Tommy. I gotta go get my food soon, so I'm not getting it yet. But when I do, I'll put up this picture. I'm doing good, Black Man. How you doing? It was a lot today. There was a lot of interruptions with the soaps. Beyond the Gates. Oh, Sean, if you like part 1, part 2. I mean, part 2 is going to speak for itself. So I'm really hoping you're going to watch the second video I put out. Francis says, Albert, they're going to make Thomas a psycho again. Are they? Because they just put what you call it. They just had Thomas and Brooke hug. So I don't know what that's about. Of course, Queen. Of course. Okay, good, Sean. Johnson said, did you see the look on Bill's face when Lee started to strangle? I gotta go back again. I gotta go back again and watch that. I was too busy sitting there just contemplating, like, wait, did Lee just try to pull a Uno reverse? No, this is your fault because you're the one that gave her the part. Nah, but we ain't doing we ain't doing that. No, 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 no. Bill shut that shit down quick. Where's my music at? Tommy. When Jason got back. Yep. Hey Tommy. I think I got a couple more pictures of okay, maybe I don't. Alright, well, I'll upload them again. Tommy's so disappointed with Ted. Yeah. Krista. I'm glad the dog is okay on GH. Well, which one? Which one, Tommy? You talking about Ted and Mrs. Shepherd? Yeah, I'm not exactly looking forward to that, Francis. I heard. I probably won't be reviewing that episode just as when they start doing that stuff. Melissa Zabit, what's your thoughts on Philip Xander word gaslighting Sarah and she's begging him for forgiveness? My whole thing is the one time that she actually starts to own up to something, it's It's not true that Xander beat the hell out of Philip. And for them to sit there and I guess in a sense, yes, gaslight her, like yeah, she should be apologetic, but not because she got it wrong. Because at this point, like Ed said, shout out to Ed, Philip is the victim, not you. Philip is the victim. And if Philip actually was able to find a way to forgive Xander, and he's going to therapy. And yes, I understand that it only works if you're honest, but like he's going to therapy, he's putting one foot in front of the other. Girl, what do you want? This is where you get to the point where it's like Sarah is constantly moving the goalposts. Hey, what's up, Lisa? I posted a few more pictures of I actually had some good pictures too. And I guess I must have erased it at some point. Let's see what I can find now. She's too far gone. You mean what you call it, right? Sarah, right? Tommy says Claire's a hypocrite. How is Claire a hypocrite? I'm very curious about that. I'm kind of annoyed because I know I had some pictures up before. Thank you, Francis. 25 people in this chat, and there's 9 likes. Hit that like button, people. She's well, I mean, but here's the thing though, like, okay, so you sit there and say that she's a murderer, right? Like, what does her being a murderer have any? Oh no, Willow. Okay, what does her being a murderer have anything to do with the fact that Kyle is being very controlling? But I'm not gonna lie, Holden was being sneaky as hell. I saw a couple of those jabs that he was doing yesterday. Now he was there trying to make himself look like the good guy and paint Kyle as the bad guy and try to gaslight Kyle. I saw that shit. Like I sat there and I watched it. I was like, bro. I'm like, bro, you're not as slick as you think you are. Oh, Jonathan, let me tell you something. Nina going ham on Willow was like the best part. I think it might actually been the best part in the episode. It might have been it might have been the best part because okay, I guess this is a cool picture. Because in all reality, what's good exactly Gardenia. I'm gonna still call you Valerie. I'm sorry. Like I got used to Valerie. I'm gonna still call you Valerie, but like she was speaking facts. What's good, Ronnie Ron? See, now Ron wasn't happy with Philip and Xander gaslighting what you call it. Yeah, I still gotta call you. I still gotta call you. Still gotta call you Valerie. What's good, Cherry Ice Cream? How you doing tonight? Melissa says, "What's your thought on Xander blaming Alex and Stephanie, and then Alex blaming her?" Well, that's kind of a. Or you just watched it on Hulu? Okay. Xander's not there blaming it on, like, listen, that's upper management. Upper management is always going to sit there and blame the underlings. I'm not surprised by that. What I was really surprised by was how Alex was blaming Stephanie. Because let's be honest, you blame her for essentially not fixing the problem, but she's not your fixer. She's a goddamn PR person. I'm doing good, Cherry. I'm doing a lot better than yesterday. Yesterday I was in a bad mood. You know how one of those days are. You just have one of those days where it's like, So it was one of those days for me. But I'm actually a lot better now. In 1 second, Tommy, let me answer your question 1 second. Alex was out of pocket though. Alex was way out of pocket. Because let's be honest, even if um Stephanie would have if Stephanie would have sat there and told Alex, I mean would have told Alex and would have told Xander about the merger, it would have already been too late because it was already fraud. So there was really nothing that she could have done about it. There really wasn't. The merger was under false pretenses the minute that Philip did that. So that was like another out of pocket sort of an argument. It really was. Now Tommy says, "Do you think Kyle and Claire's relationship is over?" It ain't looking so good. It ain't looking so good. It's hard to sit there and say. Holden seems like a much better choice right now. Kyle, like she said, every time Kyle tried to do something right, he just keeps screwing it up. Even it was good, LaShawn. Even his whole trip to Paris, it seemed like it was glossing over the situation, running away from the problems, throwing something shiny in her face. So that's my answer towards that. Now, I was a 1 second. Let me just. I I wasn't surprised that he came out because you know what I'm saying. We already knew that they were going to put him with somebody. So I wasn't surprised by him coming out because we already knew. We talked about that literally, I think, like sometimes last week. I was surprised about the way he came out because the way he came out, I don't know if you saw my review, it was really stupid. So let me get this straight. You want to fight your feelings of being gay, so you decide to sit there and fixate yourself on a lecture, stalk her, um, damn near try to kill her because you are fighting your feelings of being gay? Like what? What? Is that just how fucking dumb that sounds? Francis says Luna really took a pregnancy test and it was negative. Why does she keep taking it? Because it sometimes it takes a couple of days for it to go through. Like she tried to test it like in a day, then she tried to test it the next day because she's really anxious. And I guess it takes some time or whatever to get pregnant for the test results to work. That's why she keeps taking it. And she's hoping and praying upon the star that it's gonna work. But sometimes, we don't the thing about soap operas is there's no time, there's it's very hard to tell time. And sometimes it takes a while before you get pregnant before it shows up. So Allison says, it was good, Allison. I like the Rick story in the beginning. All right. I'm going to go get my food. 1 second, Jonathan. I'm gonna put your question up and I'm gonna answer when I get back. I wanna go turn off my food before it starts to burn. I want that to happen. But well, leave me out with this. There we go. What did I miss? And Sean, that's Claire Newman from Young and the Restless. And thank you, Black Mom. Black Mom has been a member for 32 months. I'm pretty sure that's over 2 years. Pretty sure that's over 2 years. No, I don't, Jonathan, because I think that she's actually going to be pregnant. I'm doing good, Allison. I'm doing good. I survived today, which was not exactly easy. You remember this? Well, you remember this chick. Now, yes, she is Lulu Spencer from oh, Cherry, trust me, those early morning shifts in the morning can whew, be a lot. It could be a lot. There you go, Allison. There you go. See, Allison knows. They, yeah, Babe Chandler. I think she was Babe Carey at one point. Yes, I did, Jonathan. I got them in a playlist. I just have to upload them for Sunday. So I'm actually looking forward to the stream this Sunday. I mean, I look forward to the streams every Sunday, but this particular character diving into is going to be really good. Oh yeah, no, listen, I give Kristen, I give Jason hella props for putting up with her, for putting up with Britt. Yes, Jonathan, it's gonna be fun. So I'm actually really looking forward to it. So thank you for sending it to me. 1 second, Ron. Not even asking me a question. You just like telling me something. But okay. How do I get rid of this picture? There we go. You're right. You're right, Allison. Jr. Jr. Listen, Jr. is one hell of a character. Ron says, "I hope that Tony succeed in taking back the mirror so Xan and Philip can shut the f up and run their own company." They're not going to run their own company because they're not going to have a company to run. Did you not hear Tony? Tony said that he wants his family company back and he wants theirs as well. He's not just happy. He's not just going to be happy getting his company back. He wants his company and their company. Like that's how that's working. Yeah, and she was Britt was definitely doing too much. I'm like, Britt, where do you think you're gonna go? I'm like, where the hell's my damn water at? My goodness, I'm so damn thirsty. I mean, speaking of thirsty, it took me a minute to sit there and get done with Instagram because thirst traps. Leslie is desperate. I just like Les Leslie is desperate, and her scenes are so annoying. But you gotta sit there and be thinking about these bougie ass toupees that are just like, oh, we're gonna sit there and get your membership revoked. We're gonna make sure you're not coming to the country club. I'm like, you know what? At this point, I was like, you know what? Get the Newmans in this. At this point, get the goddamn Newmans in this point. Britt says. Value says Britt wants Jason so bad she can't stand it. Yeah, you know what? Okay, you know what Britt reminds me of? Britt reminds me of Helga. I think that's her name from Hey Arnold. 1 second, Jonathan. Helga from Hey Arnold. Remember how Helga used to always sit there and bully Arnold, or she always sit there and be acting all like bitchy and stuff like that? That's how Britt is. Krista says, I was watching I was watching when she stole the embryo. This while hero worshiping Rocco has for her is sick. Yeah, yeah. That why are they remaking it, Jonathan? Tommy says, "How do you feel about that now?" I mean, I didn't really feel much about that before, but I mean, I would sit there and say this much, listen, he fell into temptation, and at this point, there's not really. I feel like at this point, he just needs to give up on trying to get Nicole back, especially after what he did, because now there's no going back from that. And he's all like, "Oh, well, you need to keep quiet and everything." The fact that he sat there and told her to keep quiet meant that he didn't learn a goddamn thing from when he last lied to her for years. So, like, at this point, stop begging her. Let her move on with her life. Okay, what you want to do? You're just going to cover it up and pretend it didn't happen? Go on another 30 years until she drops the bomb again? Nah, bro, we're not doing this whole rinse and repeat shit. Tamara says she sure did bully Arna. How good was me? Exactly, and that's exactly how Britt is. I'm like, Britt, where you gonna go? What's your plan? 1 second, Ron. What's your plan? You don't have any friends to go to. You have no money. Would you think that Jason is going to sit there and just leave you there? Hell, if Jason did sit there and leave her there, she would have been all pissy and everything. I can't believe you left me there. Girl, you told me to leave you there. What did you want me to do? Ron says, I hope that Pascal's behind Stephanie back and continues the investigation. Why? Why would you want Stephanie's father to go behind her back? Why would you want her father to sit there and betray trust? I mean, I know I'm talking to you, Ron, so like I'm not really expecting a lot of, well, you know what? I don't know what I'm expecting from you, but the thing is with Gio, and I'm not trying to say this to rain on your parade, Kristen, but the thing with Gio at this point is like, okay, I feel like this whole I don't want to be a part of the Quartermains, I don't want to sit there and rock with Tracy. This shit is getting old. This shit is getting really, really old. Like really, really old. What's good, Eagle fan? Oh, Eagle, there's gonna be a part two tonight. I'm making a part two of that. And I think you'll actually like it. Eagle. Johnson says they're not making it, but I would just imagine if they decide to follow Wednesday trend and make a show centered around Eddie Monster called Werewolf for Mockingbird Lane. I mean, I vividly remember it, but yeah. Oh, okay. Who cares what she said? Okay. All right, Ron. That's how you feel. Um, but yeah, part two is coming tonight, so I definitely sit there and drop that after. I don't know how B&B is still on the air. That show is hilarious. B&B is hilarious. Eagle, if you would have saw B&B today, you might have been laughing your ass off. It's just my whole thing with Leslie. It again, she comes across, and I'm gonna sit there and say this, Ron, because people can sit there and choose to watch whatever they want to watch. That's why. Okay, good. Well, that's why I'm here for it, Eagle. That's why I'm watching it. Like, this shit is hilarious, bro. Yes, and that's the thing. Remember, Sean, when we went to do the flashback, we saw the first episode of fuck. We saw the first episode of Anna and seeing how young she looked. Facts, facts, Jonathan. And like I said, I was here for it. Eagle says B&B has offended all victims of Luna's car. Like it's, yeah, see, yeah, and that I can understand because Eagle. I'm not going to sit there and say here, but I said it in the video. I called it what it is because Katie Smith did talk about you took advantage of her. I was like, no, 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 no. We're not going to do that because if the roles were reversed and she had a daughter, she wouldn't sit there and say, "Oh, well, this guy took advantage of her." We know that what she would sit there and say, and it would start with the letter R. But now, because it's a man, oh, it's taken advantage of. Like, nah, we're not. So every time I do a review, I'm saying the R word. Yeah, exactly, Eagle. Yep. So we're not gonna play that game. We're not doing that. No, 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 no. Not on my goddamn watch. But barring that aside, I still thought it was a fun episode. Crystal said, I don't blame Les Liesel for her reaction because Britt was being so unnecessary. I mean, yeah, but we don't even fully know why Britt did what she did. I understand her reaction, but like, girl, at some point you got to be like, damn, maybe you should be happy that your daughter's alive. You spiraling out, you crashing out and being like, oh well, as far as I'm concerned, you're still dead to me. Do you have any idea how many mothers would love to sit there and wake up and wind up seeing their sons or daughters alive, and you want to sit there and start, you know what I'm saying? Like you want to sit there and start crashing out like that, like exactly, Jonathan. Seriously, Cherry. Eagle said Jason acting like a Karen towards Anna, but not telling Carly the truth about Carly the truth, talk about Two Face. He wasn't there acting like a little girl. I know, Ron. You're still hoping. That's cool. Listen, I'm glad that you want Anna to sit there and run a company. And um, I don't agree with that opinion, but that's your opinion to have, Ron. Tommy says Ted is worse as a drunk than Doug. Um, how? I just want to understand your. Krista says, I think she clapped, but it must be over. I mean, like I said, I get it. I get it. But, like, I guess for me personally, it's very hard for me to have like, I guess I see what you're saying. Like, that's an excuse, and I've been giving her excuses, but at the same time, it's still out of pocket, though. Like, I can understand her being overwhelmed, just like I understood in the beginning how Gia was acting, but like, I can't sit there and give him a pass for how he's still acting. And honestly, to tell you the truth, yeah, she was overwhelmed, but she was still out of line with a lot of stuff that she said, you know? Yes, I am, Sean. I will see you tomorrow. And I get that, Krista. It was good last day. You did you watch B&B? Did you hear about B&B? Well, what was good last time? No, Ron, I don't think that Anna should be running a company because she's a dingbat, and I keep telling you that for like the thousandth time, but you clearly are just either not listening or whatever. I'm I'm good last day. I'm good. Well, I think you're good. Eagle says, "How do you get promoted after failing a mission? WSB is a joke." I'm gonna just let you vent on that. But when you really think about it, like Jack actually did. Jack, listen, Jack played a hand in that failure. If we're gonna be honest, like, yeah, it wasn't a total success, but like, you know, Jack is not in a position to really sit there and really be talking. You know, you had a WSB spy for a hot minute, a double agent, and you didn't know about it, but you want to sit there and come down on those two talking about what you failed the mission. Maybe they wouldn't have failed the mission if they had to sit if you was able to sit there and spot a double agent. Maybe about that. Johnson says, "Who do you think could take control of the Mayor Enterprise? I don't think Gabby will end up having the job. Why do you don't think that Gabby will end up having the job?" Because she ran Gabby Chic for a hot minute. Ron. Because she ran Gabby Chic before. Gabby Chic was her company before. No, Ron, I didn't get a chance. Lasse says I did, and well, Thomas is back, and once again he proved my point that he's not a man before a grown man. Before a grown man with a child, he sure cannot let go of his childhood drama, mommy and daddy not being together. Yeah, it is. It is. It is pretty out of pocket. I mean, honestly, tell you the truth, Rich had to sit there and call him out. Justice says I think Tony might pull a fast one because I don't think he actually wants her. I missed. Oh, Arthur missed the whole mannequin. He actually wants her to have. I think he wants Theo to run because he is a member of the family. I mean, okay. I don't honestly tell you, Jonathan. I don't really know who's going to run the company, and if I'm going to be honest, I kind of don't care. Um, I don't really see a lot of options. I don't know Theo too well, and I'm not fully impressed with Theo. If we're going to be honest, okay, Ron. If I get a chance, I may check it out. If I have some time. Um, I don't know. I don't know who's going to run the company, and I guess it's hard for me really to care. I mean, and you really think about it. EJ is running the hospital. Chad doesn't want anything to do with the business. Tony don't want to deal with the day to day stuff. I think his wife is a dingbat. Um, I don't really know much about Theo, so I can't sit there and say if he's a good business person or not. Yeah, that's an option, Jonathan. I can't sit there and say if I would want him to be the person running it in charge or not. I thought that damn argument yesterday was stupid as hell though with Tate and Holly. It's like the okay, it's like the Tate and Holly argument and the argument between Alex and Stephanie played out almost the exact same way. Like it just seems so left field. Last is, you know what? You know what? I also thought watching this episode of B&B, how can Thomas hate Brooke so much, but yet was obsessed with her daughter? Well, her mother and her daughter don't have any. But what does her daughter have anything to do with her mother? Just like, I mean, when you really think about it, maybe that's a you thing a little bit last day, because I can totally not watch. Have a good night, cherry ice cream. Thank you for joining. Um, I can totally not like one person and separate my feelings for how I feel about somebody else. Let's everyone say good night to cherry ice cream. Last day said, I wanted to tell you I watched Beyond the Gates and the acting still is so bad. I mean, it is terrible acting. It's like porn level acting. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've seen porn stars actually act better than I've seen on Beyond the Gates. But yeah, I've seen actors on Sharknado act better than some of the people on Beyond the Gates. Um, yeah, the acting shitty. You know, the sad thing is that, like, I'm reading this sentence and, like, I don't give a damn about Aaron. I don't give a damn about Tate. I don't give a damn about Ari. And Sophia is just fucking awful. The only person that is actually worth a damn. I know, last day, and that's what we are. The only character in that group is worth a damn is Holly. And Tate and his little whiny ass was going back and forth with Holly because, oh my god, I can't get answers from, like I said, Jonathan, like I said in my what you call it, like I said in my what you call it, my member stream. At least with passions, they weren't trying to be the best. They knew where they stood, and they leaned into it, and I can respect it. Ron says, I don't like the adoption storyline. I'd rather have Amy just raise her grandchild. Okay, that's cool. Last day says, although it didn't make me think about something, maybe the whole reason why Thomas went after Hope was to get to Brooke. How? I can see if the story played out like, oh well, he wanted to get back at Brooke, so he seduces Hope and breaks her heart into getting to what you call it. But like, how would that even work out? Krista said. Krista says, "What do you think they're going to do with Willow?" Yeah, I heard. Jonathan, almost every other person that comes into this chat will sit there and say the same thing. And and that's because like it could be true, it could be false, and I really just don't care. Like that's the truth of the matter. Like I don't tune into the Days of Our Lives to sit there and watch the team stuff. And like I said, it's just so goddamn bad. It's like I don't even care at this point. And every time I have to sit there and see cringy ass Aaron, I'm just like, hey, what do you think they're gonna do with Willow? I like the fact that they are making her. I mean, honestly, touch you, I have no idea what they could be doing with Willow. But I think they're gonna probably lean into her being a little bit more of a villain, and not full blown villain. Like she's not gonna be out like straight up like killing and murdering people. Like if she was the one that attacked Drew, she knew where to shoot him at, not to kill him, and not to cause permanent damage. You know, she gave him just enough motivation, just enough ammo to let Drew do what he was going to do, which he was going to sit there and blame Michael. So I think they're going to probably lean into a little bit more of her um villainous side. Lastly says, I'm thinking maybe Thomas only lied about Beth being dead so Brooke couldn't have a granddaughter. Okay, all right. Okay, Ron, I'll work on that tonight. I'll work on getting over the whole Gabby thing. Glad you spoke truth to power. Um, Tommy says, why is Leslie so annoying? I'm over. Thank you. Like I said, Leslie comes across as the black version of Jordan in the sense of like the the monologuing like a damn DC villain. That's what I feel like they're gonna do. They're gonna have. Cause remember in the beginning when she got with Michael, they said she was super boring. They said she was super boring. Now people are talking about. People weren't talking about before. It was like, oh, she's still on the show with Michael and stuff. Like, um, I mean, well, I don't blame you, last day. Listen, let me put it this way: those movies aren't designed to be the best of the best. Like the movies are supposed to be so bad that they're just fun to watch, but they're not like you're watching them in a sense of irony or in an ironic way. And they need the damn Newmans. They need the goddamn Newmans. Like, them Smith they try and get these little petty victories over Leslie just comes across as so damn dumb. Like, oh, we got her kicked out the country club. Let's give each other a high five. I'm like, really? You have to check it. I mean, don't get me wrong. She's annoying as fuck. Don't get it twisted. But like, I'm so glad that they put those universes together. Like, give them an actual family. I'm not gonna lie. I guess you and Spider was on to stuff when they said y'all need. They need to get like a family. You know, because this shit is just like this shit is just not working. Yeah, exactly, Francis. Oh, where's my stream at? She is nauseating, and it's like god damn, where am I? Adele named Tyrone Kirkland. I like that name. They need something. They need something fast. Like 31 in tracks and 21 legs. Okay, wow. Oh, 35 people in the chat. Sorry, 35 people in the chat and 22 legs. Yeah, hit the like button. That does actually help push the algorithm. Honestly, I like the first couple movies, but then once they involve dinosaurs, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, last statement. Like you know what? You are 100% correct. When they started doing that shit, I was like, all right, because at that point it wasn't goofy. It just like it didn't make sense, even in a world of Sharknado, it started to just go off the rails. And like the ending was just so damn. I didn't even understand the ending. To this day, I got to sit there and read the Wikipedia because I didn't understand the ending. You are 100% correct. You kept doing the whole time thing, and then men became women. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching at this point? Like, you're speaking facts. Billy and Leslie can date. Billy Abbott and Billy, you know, the sad thing is, I don't even feel sorry for Sally. I really don't, because you did have a good job, and in what universe you thought that work in it? There's so many problems with the fact that Sally was. Okay, here's my thing. I'm not a person that believes like, well, if people are telling you that he's a loser and you don't want to work with him, you should listen. But like, you had a thriving career. Why? Have a good night, Krista. It was really great to see you. Let's everyone say good night to Krista. Um, you had a thriving career. Why the hell would you give that up? Why would you give that up to sit there and work for Billy in his startup company? Like, in what universe you honestly think it's a good idea if you are skilled in your field and you already working in your field that's already at the top of their game? Are you going to sit there and say, you know what, I'm going to work with my girlfriend or my boyfriend at a startup company? Ron says, do you think that Portia is pregnant by Isaiah, or was she on birth control? Also, do you think that she reached the stage of menopause? Oh my God, Ron! See, you just reminded me why you my jester. I would think that that would be kind of funny though. If Isaiah was good, Samuel. If Isaiah did sit there and knock her up, that would be funny. But yeah, I don't understand how Sally decided to leave a thriving business company that's already in the zone and you already work in your field to decide I'm gonna stop what I'm doing. I felt almost kind of felt like Summer was sitting there looking at this chick when she decided to quit to work for what you call it. Like, what kind of crackheaded ass idea was that to sit there and do? Like, that's right, it's Samuel in the chat. No, they, you know, like I said, on Beyond the Gates, they need the new. I know that what's his name, Rich Forster. Which, by the way, you know, just going back to B&B for a minute, Thomas don't need a hug. Thomas needs a goddamn restraining order. That's what Thomas needs. And this whole boo-hoo, my life is lost and my kid doesn't hang out with me anymore. Yeah, he's turned into a fucking teenager. Of course, your damn kid is not going to want to hang out with you as much. Allison says that would be crazy. Portia will have a newborn and a 20. I mean, Carly, you know, like she had a kid. Yeah, because like this chick has just barely turned 18, and what you call it can be her father. Your local complainer. True, the storyline was anticlimactic. What are you talking about? Let's everyone welcome local. It's just it's a lot of words, and it's just easy to call you local. Um, but yeah, yeah, I don't blame you, Samuel. A lot of people start watching. I listen. I just find the show funny. I find the show fun, so I love it. I mean, if I was a fan, I would probably stop watching Beyond the Gates a long time ago. But if they're watching the show and you got 50% of the actors so bad that is making the actors on Sharknado look good. But like I said, they listen. Do Dupree, because you know I feel like there needs to be a drinking game every time one of those women sit there and say the Duprees. The Duprees are very strong people. Duprees, we don't run the Duprees are the best people. It's like, all right, we get it. It's like, all right, you shut up. What was your big triumph for today? Oh, you kicked somebody out the country club. Okay. I know, Sammy, I know. I do like having my talks with you, though, Sammy. I always do learn something. I mean, I always agree with you, but I always do sit there and learn some things, though. Um, yeah, listen, I'm pretty sure that chick was like 50 some years old, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sit there and have a kid." And I'm just like, what? All right, Carly, you're having kids at like what 60 some years old, like, or up in their 50s. I mean, we like way past the danger zone at this point. We just like we just don't care. I thought about that too, Alice. And I don't. I mean, I think most of the people in the family probably wouldn't have wanted that shit. Like Tracy wouldn't have wanted that. Monica probably wouldn't have wanted that. Like, well, Ron, if Sheila has a is pregnant, which I mean, let's be honest, she already has children, so she shouldn't be trying to get pregnant at age 70. But like, I think that would just be a miracle of science at this point. I mean, that's the thing, Allison. Yeah, it is unrealistic, but I mean, soap operas always like they want the audience to have a certain level of disbelief, but like, girl, you like over 50. This is like Johnson says that Beyond the Gates introduced a rival family for Dupree's. One of the characters should be more of a villain character. Hmm, okay. Samuel says every soap opera reminds the audience who the main family is. General Hospital do it with the Quartermains, Y&R with the Newmans, and the Abbotts, and so on. Is it about the comment that I said about the drinking game? How many times that they constantly sit there and say, "We're the Duprees and we're the Duprees," and yeah, I get it. Like Victor always mentioned, "We're Newmans, we're strong, we're this, we're that." And maybe I would probably have a little bit more patience with Beyond the Gates if I actually thought that the show was like good, but it's it's not good, and I find myself being more annoyed every time you sit there and say it too. But and I get it because it made me sit there and think a couple of days ago when you're talking about how stubborn you are. Yeah, well you're a Newman. I feel like even on Y and R they don't even do that. They don't even do it as much. Like Beyond the Gates does that shit to a point where it's just like, okay, we're gonna sit there and do another speech when you sit there and say at the end of it, I'm like this because I'm Dupree, or you shouldn't shrug your shoulders because you're a Dupree. It just it for me it starts to be like we get into very preachy territory, and it's like all right, we get it, you're a Dupree. Y&R does that, but they don't do that shit as often. Ron says it's an effing TV show. Doesn't matter the age. Tabitha and One Passions gave birth to Dora at 80 years Oh, Ron, I love your counter arguments. It's so hilarious. Now, lastly, said you can be proud of your family heritage without talking about it every 5 seconds. Exactly. That's why I said let's play a drinking game. See who's gonna get a hangover the fastest because they don't have because they've been on for like free for freaking 50 years. I get it. I get it. I get annoyed with it, but I understand what you're saying. I mean, like I said, Sammy has a point, but like just because like that makes sense, it doesn't make it less annoying every time they say it for me personally. Um, and like I said, I wasn't, not saying that they're trying to bag on the show, but I'm not going to be pulling punches out there. And I still watch it today, so every time Eva sits there and say, "Mama, Mama, why do you do that for, Mama?" I remember Chanel used to sit there and do that shit that was annoying. I feel like Eva does it like way more. As annoying as Chanel does it. I feel like when Eva does it, it's somehow just more annoying. Maybe it's her voice, but um, Ron, she's not pregnant. Like you just wrote that twice, and I'm telling you she's not. So, um, like I said, there's certain characters I like. I like Bill. Danny. Danny's a little kind of be a little kind of extra. I think Haley looks good, but she can be a little bit too much. Um, Alice's passions was a sci-fi and had a 200-year-old witch and talking dog. Yes, yeah. We don't. Ron is gonna be Ron. Um, I won't really care one with the other, but like, I mean, if she gets pregnant by AJ's baby, I think that'd be interesting. I would think that would be interesting. I don't normally care about pregnancies, but I think that would be interesting. Johnson says, Running Dupree, I don't back down. I'm a Dupree, Roland Dupree, in a midst of voice, I'm a Dumont. Yeah, they need somebody. Like I said, I'm cool with the Newmans being like their adversary in a sense because it's already been established that they're on the same universe, right? And who is also a very rich and powerful family that has been known to do some shady shit, or a person has been known to do some shady shit. The Newmans, right? Like they may know the Abbotts, but like the Abbotts are generally good people for the most part. You know, like Vernon and Jack will get along. Vernon and Jack will get along. I feel like Vernon and Eric will get along. I don't know if Anita and Brooke will get along, if we're going to be honest. If you really think about that shit, like who would get along, who wouldn't, I don't think that Brooke. Oh, and by the way, I am so fucking happy that Taylor called Eric out. Okay, now Johnson says, but the Newmans aren't on the same show. They don't live in the same town or the same state. Neither does the Winters, but yet um Devon actually came all the way over to um or the channels, right? I'm gonna take your word on it. We still watching the show, so I'm still learning about the channelers, Allison. But I'll take your word for it, Dom. Well, yeah, Devon actually went over there to visit. Um, and yeah, they're not on the same show, but that's the same. Like Devon isn't on the same show as as what I'm saying is they wouldn't be around as regular characters. No, no. Okay, so I get what your snitch is saying. You need something that's like more of a permanent. Okay, I see what your snitch is saying, like as a permanent thing, not just like what we knew them. Okay, I get what your snitch is saying. Yeah, if they want to sit there, yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. I guess I was sit there saying more as a fan fiction. Maybe I should have been a little more clear, more as a fan fiction sort of thing. Yeah, Adam, you're right. Right, I was saying Adam was Adam was ruthless as fuck. Asa was ruthless as fuck. I get what you're saying, Jonathan. You're looking more as a regular, and I guess I'm just more on a fan fiction part. I got you. I got you. I would I would still love Brooke to sit there and meet Anita. Cause I feel like Anita would just not like Brooke for so many reasons, and not even the obvious reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like I really like Erica Kane. I really like Erica Kane. All the clips that I've seen of Erica Kane, she was that chick. They did that at one point. I know they used to sit there and do crossovers sometimes with B and Y and R. I feel like for a network that has two shows that's in the same universe, like they miss out on some really good crossovers. You know, and then when they do some crossovers, they're just kind of stupid. Like Esther Smith, they're going to B and getting a dress, and I guess meeting up with Charlie was like, what the? And yeah, okay, I get it. She was there with Lauren Fenmore. But like that wasn't even a story. It was just like a little guest thing that they did. Like, ooh, she's coming over, or Danny Romalotti's coming over to play music. I'm like, really, really? Like that's the best. Allison, I remember where Erica Kane stared down the goddamn grizzly bear. She stared down a goddamn grizzly bear. Maybe if I'm generous, I'll sit there and play it one day. Because it's not even a super long clip, so it was a good one though. Well, wow, it's like I can't even fucking spell. What's good, Darby? Oh, let me see if I could try to. Let me see if I could try to find it. What's good, Darby? What's good, Darby? How the have you been? Was your father in a sense where it is Tad blaming like like bewitched doing that? Still waiting for that damn Pine Valley. Um, 50 here. The charges did get dropped though. Oh, what you remove? Okay, that was annoying. Allison, let me know if you're still in the chat. And yes, while I wait for her to respond, yeah, because in exchange, he agreed to actually drop. He actually agreed to get the charges dropped, and surprisingly, he was able to do that, which I don't understand. I don't. Okay, good. I don't understand because he when Martin asked, okay, I'll lie for you if you do me this favor. What happened to that?
You may not do this! Do you understand me? You may not come near me! I am Erica Kane! And you are a filthy beast!
Who else would sit there and stare down a bear? Who else would sit there and stare down a bear with claws that could sit there and take your ass out in one foul swing and says, I'm Erica Kane. Like you do what I tell you to will you do what I tell you to say, bitch? Like what? That was the last time I saw something foolish like that involving a person and a bear. It was Riverdale. Yeah, that's right. Archie fought a bear. Because I have no idea, Allison. I mean, I feel like that clip was probably before I was born, maybe. I was like young, young, young. I do. I didn't upload it, but I do have it though. I do have it. Um, why was she with the bear? Again, I have no idea. I wasn't watching it back then. I just saw the clip of it and I was like, all right, let's watch it. But yeah, that stuff I do not know. But yeah, I would definitely put that in a rotation. I think that'd be fun. Yeah, I was saying I might have been a little kid. I may not even have been born yet. Like I have no idea. None whatsoever. Man, was it a trying day for the soaps though? Like I said, I couldn't watch Beyond the Gates because it got interrupted. It was a news interruption, and apparently people couldn't watch the first 10 minutes of General Hospital because it was a news interruption. And I had to watch the rest. Actually, I had to watch pretty much all of Beyond the Gates on Paramount Plus. Oh, on the side note, I did when I was on the bus today. I saw somebody watching Beyond the Gates. There, I saw this one woman sitting there watching Beyond the Gates. I guess she was watching yesterday's episode this morning. Okay, okie dokie. What are you watching GH in full? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, okay. Mine's only got interrupted for like maybe the first 5 minutes. I was sitting there saying maybe the first 5 minutes. I mean, I watched it on. I just watched it on YouTube, and then the rest of it I watched on my DVR. But yeah, it's all kind of weird. I don't know. News interruption. Oh, the first 2 minutes. That's what it was. You're right, Jonathan. Yes, the first 2 minutes. The first 2 minutes, they didn't play it. And so I wanted watching it. I wanted watching it on YouTube. You are correct, Jonathan. Some people said 10 minutes for them, but you're right. For us, it was 2 minutes. But, and I think that was, the reason I was able to sit there and stream today was because I saw most of the Young and the Restless yesterday, so I was able to watch most of Young and the Restless yesterday. It's like I had to do homework yesterday so I can make sure I could do a stream tonight. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, but I do gotta wake up early in the morning. I want to kind of get things done and not feel like I have to be catching up to the day, depending on what time I wake up. But I will be back tomorrow, regular time. You know what time will be 8 p.m. I just type in. Well, I mean, I don't think there's really a station. You just type in General Hospital full episode, and it comes up. You just have to find like a really good one that will show the whole episode. So it's not on a particular station. Just type in General Hospital full episode. That'll come up. But have a good night, Allison. Have a good night, Black Mon. Oh, you know what? Before I end the stream, I've been saving this shit for a hot minute. We gonna end the stream
Right now, you're going right now? She's on me. What? They are here. What? Got the cameras rolling because they are here. What is going down? What are they around? What? She's on me. They know how to get down. What up, Viola? What up, Anthony? What up, Mercedes? What up, Christopher? What up, Anthony? What up, Sabrina? What up, Jay? Spiritano, Spiritano, Spiritano. We gon' take it down. Spiritano, Spiritano, Spiritano. We gon' take it down. Now? Right now.
And that's how we're gonna end it. So yeah, Johnson says, good night, everyone. Okay, Johnson says, join us for another edition of Soap Chop Dr. Bostic. Johnson says, good night, everyone. Hit the like button. And he also says you can also watch today's episode of GH on abc.com. And I recommend that as opposed to watching it on YouTube. I just do. Yes, with that being said, I'm gonna go and I will see y'all in the next stream, which is tomorrow. Laters.